Hey guys, Infusion here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm just going to be reviewing this well-known shutter release for cameras, Triggertrap. Triggertrap uses your mobile device, iPods, phones, iPads, smartphones, Androids, to actually take and control the shutter as well as some other settings in your camera. So what we're going to be reviewing today is this little dongle right here that plugs into the camera and then therefore plugs into your device with the app. So that's another thing we're going to be looking at today. I'm actually going to switch over soon and show you the app interface. And then we're going to be reviewing this phone mount that you can put this in right on top of your camera. So basically here on the end, what I have is an ending. It's like a shutter release plug that goes into the side of your camera, and I'm going to be using a 50D today to demonstrate this product. Basically it plugs into right here. This ending works with many other models, and I'm going to list those down in the description for you guys so you can go check that out, and I'm pretty much certain that you can buy other endings to fit your camera's needs. So let's go ahead and jump over to the app side of things, and I'm going to record this screen and I can show you the app interface to get started. Okay, so now we're in the app, and I can just show you around and the different features of it. Then we'll take it over to the camera and show you how to apply it. Now, you want to make sure your volume is all the way up when using this application with your camera, or it will not work. And it will give you a notification if your volume is not up. So once your volume is all the way up, then you can start to use it and use its functions. So basically, what we have here is simple cable release, quick release, press and hold, press and lock, timed release, self timer, time lapse, time warp, distant lapse, star trail, bramping, sound sensor, vibration sensor, motion sensor, Peekaboo, LE HDR time lapse, Wi-Fi mode, and ND calculator and solar calculator. So we have all these different features, and if you do want to buy the Triggertrap, I'll put the link to that in the description. I believe it is around $50. The app is free, but of course you can't use the application without the mobile dongle. So basically we're going to go into settings here and just look at the different things we have. Of course you can change all these things: the sensor delay, sensor reset delay, pulse length, speed unit, and distance unit. Of course, if you use miles in yards or meters in kilometers, miles per hour, of course, probably if you live in America, and then you can see the version, and then you can reset the entire app. So basically that's all the settings we have. Of course, right here you can get the right kit for the job right here by clicking that button right there, cable selector, and then we can leave feedback and support, which we don't want to do at this time. Now basically, to launch the simple cable release, you just hit the button. As you can see, I just did. Now it's trying to give me a low volume notification because I'm actually recording it with my computer, so it's actually messing up. I can't really change the volume. As you can see, I'm trying to change it right now. Nothing's happening. So basically, whenever I plug this in the computer, you can't change the volume. So I mean, you just got to make sure your volume's all the way up, and then you can press the button and it will work. We're just not going to go through all of these here. We're actually going to demonstrate these with a camera, but that is basically the app, and to access them you just click on one and it will switch over to that window. You can also go distance lapse just like that, and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to the camera, and I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so now that you have an overall view of the application, now we can actually get into reviewing it and testing it. So basically, what we have here is kind of like a headphone jack that plugs into your device, and then a simple cable release plug that plugs right into the port of your camera. So basically we're just going to set this up real fast, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works, but first I'm going to just show you how this thing works. Both together I believe it's actually $50. I'm going to check on the price for you and have that down in the description, as well as links to buy these things. So basically, to work this thing, you just got to take your device right here. Let's turn it off, and you're just going to fit it right in here, just like that. Then you're just going to pull this tab right here, until it's big enough to go around your device, just like that. Then of course it will go directly on your camera right up here because of the way it is made, just like that. And we can loosen this up so it would go on it by unscrewing that right there. Screw that back, and now it will fit directly on there. And you can tighten it down. That way you can actually use the application while it's on your camera, just like that. So that is pretty cool, and I'm actually going to take it off now and show you, though. I just wanted to show you exactly how you apply it and put it on your camera. So that's pretty cool, and I don't remember how much this thing was, but I think both together they were $50. So it's not too bad of a price, especially for a good remote, and this product is actually pretty good. Of course I did experience some issues at first. I don't know if it was the frequency, because of course the way it does this is you have to have your volume all the way up, as I told you earlier in the video, and when you plug this in, basically it's just getting a frequency coming out of your device and it's picking it up in the camera and knowing what to do then. So when you mess around with it, it's kind of giving it a what is that word? It's like changing the frequency around, which is kind of messing it up, and it's just, yeah. But I haven't had too many problems if you just don't touch this too much. Like if you wiggle it around, it will start to take pictures and focus and do weird things. But if you just like touch it like this, it will be fine. Just don't, you don't want to like mess around with it too much. But other than that, it's a pretty good quality product, and it works with your smartphone, and it has some really cool features, and that's why I like it. So we're gonna go ahead and take this thing off and get back to our normal mode of viewing things. Okay, so we're back, and now we're actually going to plug this in and see it in action. To plug this in, you're just going to open the flap that has the little shutter icon, or the remote icon right on the side of your camera, and then you're going to locate the end of your Triggertrap plug, and of course you can see right here that it has 3 prongs on the end of it, which you can match up in the camera actually, and so we're just going to go ahead and do that, and just make sure you plug it in right so you don't bend one of your wires or prongs in there, and then you'll be fine. So we're going to actually plug this into our device now, and make sure our volume is all the way up, of course, and now we can actually see it in action. Now Triggertrap works with any mode of the camera. There's only some features in here that you have to have a certain mode with a certain setting. So we'll go over that as we move along, but right now we're just going to talk about the simple cable release. So we can just have it on P, which is program, or anything you want. You can have it on automatic. The only reason I don't want it on automatic is because the flash will try to open. I just don't want that messing with the video. So I'm just going to have it on P, and it should be fine the way it is. So we're just going to go ahead and show you how this works by clicking the button right here, and there we go. It took a picture. Sometimes it does take a little time to warm up, and it should work after that. I had to hit it like a couple times just for it to recognize what it is plugged into, but now it works every time, and as you can see, it's taking pictures. So now we're going to move on to quick release, which is basically you click and hold and then let go when you actually want to take the picture. So say somebody says take a picture in 5 seconds, you can click and it will count to 5 seconds, and then on 5 seconds you can let go and it will take the picture, just like that. So it just took a picture, just like so, and I have experienced some issues with that, although right now it seems to be working very well. I don't know if it just took a little while to warm up, because I did try that like right when I plugged it in. It had a little bit of issues trying to focus. And also you want enough light when you try to use this, or you want to put it on manual focus and focus it yourself, because sometimes it does have some issues trying to focus it in dark settings, and then all these things won't work, and you will think that your product's not working, but it's just too dark. So yeah, basically it's working, it just needs to focus. So we're going to go ahead and move on to press and hold. This is just for exposure. Now this is where changing settings comes into play and things get a little bit more tricky. As you can see right here on this dial over here, we do not have any bulb mode whatsoever, because this is an older camera model. Of course, all the 5D Mark IIIs and all those newer cameras do have this feature on here, but what we are going to need to do to get this camera in bulb mode is just go to manual, and then right over here you can see on the LCD, just using this little slider right here, you can control this number right here in the top left. As you can see, we're just going to slide it all the way to the left as far as it will go, and then we will actually get our bulb mode. So let's go ahead and get that here, just like that. So we slid it all the way to the left, and we have bulb mode now, which is what we need for this exact feature. So press and hold basically lets you keep your shutter open as long as you want, as long as you're holding it. So I'm going to press and hold. Now it's open. As you can see, it didn't take the last, you didn't hear the last shutter close. As soon as I let go, you'll actually hear it, and I'm going to actually let go right now. So now it just took the final picture, and you can see as it shows up is white because the light is coming in. And so we're going to go ahead and move on. Press and lock is so you don't need to hold it down. You can just click it, and then you can walk away. While it counts up and your exposure is running, then you can click the button when you come back. So that's good for like star trails and things like that. Of course, you can do timed release right here, so you can edit the time actually. Right now it's set to 30 seconds. I'm just going to edit that down just a tad so it's not too long. We're going to go to 10 seconds, and we're going to hit OK, and then we're going to hit the button. Now that is actually setting the exposure for a 10-second long exposure. At the end of 10 seconds, it will finish the exposure, and it will take the finish taking the picture. Just like so, the picture will pop up, and then that's basically timed release. Now self-timer is just setting it, it's kind of the same thing, but it's not an exposure. It just takes the picture at whatever you have it set as. So we're actually going to move this back to P, which is program, and it's like at 25 shutter speed, so that's perfect for this setting. It's fine. So we're going to just set it for 10 seconds and hit it, and it will just take a quick picture at the end of 10 seconds. So this is good for like family pictures and things where you have to take a picture yourself and you want it on a self timer. So now it's 2 seconds, 1 second, and now it will take the picture. So it's a quick picture, and as you can see, you can actually see the subject over here, which is just it's just a battery charger for the camera. So you can see the subject in that picture, and it's taking it. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to time lapse. Okay, so time lapse is basically, I don't know, like if you don't know what time lapse is, it takes a picture every X number of seconds, and you can set whatever that you want for that. Right here I have 3 seconds, as you can see right there, and this is good for like clouds moving across the sky and mist and just different things where you want like flower growth and stuff like that, where you want to portray a long process over a short period of time in a short time lapse. I'm just going to demo how this works today by hitting, of course, 3 seconds, we have that, and then just hitting the red button, and it should start by itself. And it should take them every 3 seconds. Sometimes this does mess up. Now it's on a roll. You just got to make sure it's focused before it starts. And it is a tad bit dark in here actually. So let's see if we can get some better. Here we go. So every 3 seconds it should take a picture, just like that. And you can see how it's counting down and then it takes a picture. Now that we have it pointing up at light, we can focus better. So, and it also tells you here how many pictures it's taken and how much time has elapsed. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so moving on, we have time warp. Basically, that is time lapse, but it goes faster over time or slower over time. So here we have pictures every, I don't know, like 1 second, and then it slowly gets slower. So now it's 4 seconds instead of 1 second, and then it's 1 minute. So it's just, I don't know, you can mess around with that. It's a good feature if you like taking time lapses that you need to slowly get slower or slowly get faster. And then for distance lapse, that's if driving, you can take one every 25 meters, or like I showed you earlier, you can change that in settings to miles and yards. So that's pretty cool. You can actually change it and say every mile take a picture. So you can take drive lapses and all those things. Star Trails is another cool feature. I've actually made a video on this. Basically, this tells you how many pictures to take, how long for the exposure to be, and how much of a gap between the photos that you want. And that's super cool. And I'm not going to demonstrate this because, I mean, it's just pretty, it just explains itself. It's pretty intuitive to use, and if you want to know, if you want to take a star trail, you know what this is. Okay, so moving on, we're going to do a couple of these sound tests. Basically, it's just sound. We're actually going to pull it up here and start it. Let's get some focused here. So basically, when I snap, it takes a picture if it's focused. See? Just like that. And that's pretty cool, actually. So that's the sound. Then we have the vibration. When I tap on the desk, let's make sure this is up. So that's pretty cool. Then we have motion. That's just should be just a camera. It's detecting motion. I don't know, like, it works. All this stuff works. You can mess around with it yourself. It's just for different uses if you do happen to have those uses. Now I'm actually going to demonstrate Wi-Fi, so I'll be right back after I set all that up. I'm actually going to use 2 different devices for this, and so I'll be right back and I'll show you how to use that. Okay, so now I'm going to demonstrate to you guys all about the Wi-Fi setting. So basically what you're going to need for this is two devices, and one needs to be plugged into your camera, and the other one, of course, is the remote triggering, so you can walk away. So the one that's plugged in to the camera needs to be set as a slave, which would be the second option up here. We have master and slave, and of course you can find the Wi-Fi feature by scrolling down this list and clicking on Wi-Fi. So here's the slave. We just need to select that, and then we need to come over to our remote device and go to the master category right there and hit the red button. Just like that. So now we are broadcasting to all devices nearby that we're available, and then you can select that right here, your device name, and then you just hit the red button. We're going to turn up our volume here and select it. Now we are connected, and I can actually trigger this device with my iPod. So that is pretty cool, and I'm actually going to show you how this works. So what you're going to need to do is tilt this up to the light, of course, as we saw in our previous things of doing this. Make sure the camera's turned on, and then we'll just go from there. Make sure it can focus, just like so. And now all we need to do is just hit this red button. It should take it. Oh, okay, come on. Yeah, okay, so wait, we need to do this. I switch back over, connect again. There we go. So now we're going to go and pick a mode that we want to control this camera with Wi-Fi over Wi-Fi, and the grayed out ones are the ones you can't use. So we're just going to use simple capabilities just to demo this, and we're just going to hit the red button now. And oh wait, I have my camera on a timer, so it is taking the picture, as you can see. It's on a 10-second timer, so let me change that real fast. But you saw it took the picture without me even being connected to it. So that's basically how the Wi-Fi feature works. If you have any other questions about that feature, just comment down in the comment section and I'll help you figure that out. Let me go ahead and switch this back to just one shot. There we go. So now I can demonstrate it again. We're just going to hit this button. Of course, have our camera pointing where it could be focused, and just click the button. So we're not even connected to this camera, and yet we are taking pictures with a second device. You can sit in the car and take pictures all day. Let's see if I can get way back in the room here. Maybe it will still take a picture. So I'm way back here. You can probably hear that I'm way back here. And I'm just going to hit this button, and it works from that far away. So that is really cool, and I definitely recommend trying out these products. I hope you enjoyed this review and found it helpful. I'm going to leave everything that you need to know down in the description, and you can buy your own product and try it out. Thanks for watching this demo, and I'll see you guys in the next video.